So have a go at this, Jessica, the one the Google form, yeah? Got to choose from 3. Is the focus in the speaking activity mostly fluency? Is it mostly accuracy? Or does it have elements of fluency and accuracy? Welcome, Lulu.
Good morning, sorry.
We've already started. We're doing this little sort of questionnaire about fluency and accuracy in speaking. So I'll send you the link directly to you.
Okay,
There
thanks.
you go. And we're about to go to breakout rooms to discuss the answers. I'm going to put you into groups of 3 so that people who've just joined us can sort of listen in. So Lulu, obviously you've just joined, so just listen to what they're saying. When you're in breakout rooms, can please one of you screen share, okay? And try to come to an agreement on the answer for each one. Yeah, you might not fully agree, but mostly agree. Okay, so let's get started. Oh, we've got double Lulu. There we go. Strange. All right. So Stephanie, Ines, and Jessica together in one room, and Fabiola and Lulu in no. Let me move. Yeah, I think that's okay. All right, so I'll give you about 5 or 6 minutes. Starting now. Please go to your breakout rooms.
Well, yes, I agree with this. Mostly accuracy, the first one.
Well, actually, I answered fluency because I think we are relating the word to the image instead of write it down. So I choose fluency. But
Okay.
Fluency? Do you think that is fluency or both of them?
no, I think it's fluency because the teacher is not like asking them to write something down. So how can you check grammar corrections or something like that? Am I being clear? Like, I think it's mostly fluency because you're checking pronunciation and also you're relating the image with the word instead of the word with the word. Am I being clear or?
All right, but is it communicating meaning without too much stopping or hesitating? Or is it all about the correctness of a student's use of pronunciation?
Okay.
So what do you think? Is it the ability to communicate meaning without too much stopping or hesitating? Or is it the correctness of the student's pronunciation? Because that's the definition of accuracy.
Oh, well, yes, in that case, it is accuracy.
It's more accuracy, isn't it? Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. If you look at the definitions, yeah. Okay. Good.
Okay.
Move on to the next
Okay,
one.
we'll go on. Okay. This is what I put for the second one, but I don't know. What did you guys think?
Yes, in this case, I agree with this, mostly fluency because they have to talk. What do you think, Steffi?
Introduced, she kind of asked, what is this? Like, that's an elephant. What is this? This is a rabbit. I don't know. But it's
Okay.
nothing else. It's nothing else that like you cannot call an elephant like an animal who has a long nose, who has long like big ears, other than elephant. I don't know if for me it's accuracy.
Yeah, okay. I think with your reasons, I'm agree. Totally agree.
With my reason.
Yeah. You explain it beautifully.
Thank you. What about number 2? What do you thought?
Role playing, yeah, fluency.
Yes. And the number 3?
I put both
Mm-hmm.
because
Why?
they are, when they are reciting the poem or something. For example, in my case, we are doing this, and I don't say the poem. I never say the poem. They have to read. They have to pronounce the words. So that's why I say it could be both because they are practicing their fluency.
For me, for example, I used to teach babies like from 6 months to almost 6 years old. and I would create stories, I would create rhymes, I would create poems for them to approach them to the language. And what my goal was kind of accuracy, because I would play with the Mexican Sign Language,
Okay.
so they can relate the movement easily to the word. So for me, it was accuracy that they could then learn the poem or learn the rhyme and then replicate the exact same words
Okay.
with the movement. For example, we built like a festival, online festival, because it wasn't the pandemic, about Xochimilco. So what we approached it to was a nana, or in Nahuatl. So of course, I'm not gonna teach them Nahuatl,
Yeah.
but just the song, just the little nana was in Nahuatl, and what helped them was the movements. Like they needed to replicate it. Like the smaller ones, they needed just to be maybe swinged to relate, that it was for sleeping.
Yeah.
A little bit more old, they needed to replicate the movements. It wasn't necessary, and it was easier movements. And for example, the older ones who were in third of pre-K, they needed to do the movements and replicate the words.
Okay.
And mostly because I was singing the song and they would do the movements at the same time, and they would just like mouthing the words, like. So I don't know. For me, it was accuracy.
Okay. I think we can put like the both of them, maybe, because
Okay.
we are like in both places.
Yes, I think it's the same.
Because I don't think in this one they need to speak as much, right? Maybe it's just the pictures, reordering pictures or something like that. First. I know.
But they are retelling. They have to
Uh-huh.
repeat.
So maybe it's a mix of both, right?
Yes, because
So?
they are practicing. I think.
So maybe change. Okay. And the last one was the questionnaires and surveys.
One more.
I choose both.
Yes. About the person with their abilities and rights and lives and record information in the sheet. It could be only fluency or not, because it's like an interview.
But I'm leaning as well, could be as well the accuracy, right? Because you're trying to get specific information. I don't know. I don't know. You're right.
And they have to record the information. This is different. In this case, they have to record the information, I think, because they have to check. They have to check pronunciation, maybe. Yes, maybe. Not only fluency. I don't know.
Yeah, because if it's not done right, the other person cannot get like, oh, what was the like and the dislike? Like I didn't hear it
Yes.
well.
Yes, in this case, they are going to listen later in their pronunciation.
Maybe I'll leave it as that.
Steffi, what do you think?
In the last one, I already said both.
Both, okay.
Yes.
Well,
We
I
finished
have
then.
some notes, but yes.
Do we have to submit this or not? No, I don't think so, right?
I don't know.
Or not yet?
Actually, yeah, go ahead and submit it.
Yes,
Okay. Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
I'm sorry.
but
Okay.
individually. Yeah, so
Yes.
Okay.
even if you disagree, just submit your own version, yeah?
Okay.
I'll just submit. Okay.
Okay, done.
Oh, what?
Status. And I saw that you were very, very busy.
Yeah, I
Okay.
was.
Fabiola and Lulu, can you just submit your individual versions now? of this?
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
where it says submit at the bottom, the little purple button. Just send it in. Let's see what your answers are then.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's been submitted.
Thank you. All right, let's see what you've put. It's always the interesting part is to see what your answers were. So you've all submitted, right? Okay. So I've got 3 responses. Huh? There should be at least 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you haven't submitted, submit them now.
I'm finishing.
Okay.
Okay. I said it.
Great.
Where are
Let's
you?
check then. Okay, I've got the answers. I have got the sort of official answers in front of me here, so I will check them now. So look, listen and repeat, mostly accuracy. And most people agreed with that, yeah? Because it's focused on pronunciation accuracy more than anything, isn't it? Yeah. Because it says when teacher is satisfied with pronunciation. Yeah. So it suggests accuracy. So remember, pronunciation is a language system. And you want the students to get close to the model, and that requires some drilling, control practice, so that's accuracy. Yeah, dialogues and role play mostly is, yeah, mostly fluency, correct. Number 3, listen and participate. So pupils are encouraged to participate by repeating key vocabulary and phrases. That sounds more like accuracy because they're concerned with the accuracy of the phrases or lexis. Dramatization. Yes, very good. Has elements of both fluency and accuracy. That's right. Because some of it is memorizing, which is connected to accuracy because you want them to memorize accurate phrases, right? But some of it can be improvised, like the short dialogues, right? So that can be fluency. It doesn't have to be scripted. Onto memory games is mostly accuracy is the answer for that one. Yeah. Well, why is it accuracy? Well, because you're trying to get them to listen carefully and repeat exactly what was said. So that's the answer there. Mostly accuracy. Information gap has elements of fluency and accuracy, yes. Yeah. You can sort of control what questions they will be asking in the information gap, but So that's the accuracy part, but the fluency will be that they can answer the questions in any way they wish. The idea is to transfer the information. So it's all about communication more than anything. Yeah. So ability to communicate meaning without too much stopping or hesitating. So information gap is usually used to encourage fluency. Retelling a story. Where are we? Retelling a story. You say mostly fluency, but yeah, I think it also has elements of accuracy as well. Because why accuracy? Well, certain parts of the story will be formulaic, right? Like once upon a time, these expressions, in the end, suddenly, and all this sort of stuff about adverbs and so on. So, but the actual way they tell the story can be creative. It can be focused on communication. That is fluency. Questionnaires and surveys. Yeah. Mostly fluency, yeah, because they can answer any way they wish, right? The way you can control it for accuracy a bit is by getting them to form questions, to formulate questions before they start the survey, before they start asking each other, right? So that can control the accuracy a bit, yeah. But the way they answer is going to be more communicative, without stopping or hesitating. So generally we use those types of that type of activity, questionnaires and surveys, for fluency, to develop fluency. No. So good. I think we're on the right lines. Now, we're going to divide into groups again. I'm going to give you a Jamboard. And we're going to go into a bit more depth with these activities. So we've got the very same activities here on the pink Post-its. Okay. These 8 from the Google form activity. Yeah? But what we want to do is then match them with the purpose for doing the activity and match it with then some material that you can use with the activity. Right, so let's take listen, look, listen, and repeat. Okay, so we have to find the right purpose from here. And looking through, the main purpose is to introduce new vocabulary or structures and also to focus on form and pronunciation. If you're not sure why that is the case, you can look back at the activity. So you may have to go back to the Google form to check the description. All right, now the material, what do you think is the material that you could use for look, listen, and repeat?
Maybe the picture cards.
Yeah, we need picture cards, don't we? Yeah, so we need to find something from here. So that would be picture cards, like that, you see? So we put them together, the 3 of them. Does that make sense? Great. So let's have you in 2 groups. Alondra, we've lost. Maybe she'll come back later. So let's have Ines and Lulu together here. Hopefully Alondra will come back. Group B, we've got Fabiola, Stephanie, and Jessica. Okay. So here is the Jamboard. Oh, by the way, these you're wondering where these activities are coming from. They're from here. It's by the famous authors for young learners, Jean Brewster and Gail Ellis. Gail Ellis is the director of the British Council's Young Learner Centre in Paris, France. Very kind of considered an authority on teaching young learners English. So here is the link coming into the chat now. Please find your board. Give me the thumbs up when you have it. Okay, and then I'll give you about 7 or 8 minutes to do the matching. So just make sure you're in the right breakout room. So the first one is okay. Let's do it. It's a good idea if one of you can share the screen again.
These.
Short spoken messages.
Okay.
Just drag these out of the way.
I have
Mhm.
okay, here I think these will be more this. What do you think?
Oh, I don't see it yet. Sorry. Which one? B is dialogues and role play.
Yeah, because it said to provide a memorable occasion for practicing spoken English to develop confidence, memory skills, and provide integrated skills.
Good, yeah.
So what if we put them like here, this here, then we can put them like
Like closer, right? To
Yeah.
each other, like
okay.
to listen and participate to provide fluency practice.
I can see the thing. Oh,
Because then dramatize. The taking turns. You know, here in A, where it says develop social skills and turn taking.
yeah.
Is turn taking more in like information gap though?
Yeah,
No.
it could be actually, yeah, because you normally take turns when you're saying, okay, it's your turn. So then you share information, don't you, that way? So you need to take turns to share the information.
Yeah, so it could be, so A could be here.
I think this will be this one.
Okay, dramatization.
Oh,
I was even just thinking, maybe it's, I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm gonna just check what was the listen and participate
yeah.
in here. What was the listen and participate? Examples of this are often found in storytelling. Participate. Okay.
I think listen and participate would be this one.
And listening stories to provide a minute. It's more structured,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. It's not so independent. Then we have to give pupils a chance to work independently, to practice fluency, to use language for their communication.
Right. Listen and participate.
Yes.
Okay,
Sorry.
but we need to put the materials, no? On the second one?
No, in the second one is the purpose, and in the third one, the materials.
Okay. Listen and participate. I can read. I can see.
You know,
don't worry. I'm going to open mine.
Yes, I suggest that you do that, because otherwise I open and then I close the same one.
Yes.
It's kind of tough.
I think it's letter D. Listen
Yes.
and participate. To involve. What do you think, Fabi?
It says to listening to stories
Oh, yes, it's
or
true.
rhymes. That's why pretty much, but it could be that one, because in the other one says retelling a story in the number 7. And
Exactly.
for me, that's letter H.
I think it's letter D.
Well,
Yes, I mean, I think letter
I think G would be here.
G would be, sorry?
G would be number 2, dialogues and role play.
But I think in dialogues, they still need to practice their memory skills, right? Because in dialogues, you normally have a sentence or a phrase that you remember.
Yeah.
You can still improvise, but normally it goes with, I don't know, a phrase that you're given. I know that's why I'm leaning more towards that one.
I'm okay. I'm agree.
Yeah.
So it would be B.
I think so.
Okay. So
what the-
retelling a story would be this one.
And E, what happened to E?
I don't know.
It to give people the chance to work independently. But I think the E, I mean, the questionnaires and surveys are pretty independent from the teacher, right? You just, maybe after you practice a structure, it's up to them.
Yeah.
So I would leave E in questionnaire and
Okay.
surveys. Oh, we're missing one. Are we missing one?
No, I don't know why you can see it. I have it here.
Yeah, okay.
Let
Okay,
me
now
see.
the materials.
If you refresh your page, maybe.
No.
practice pronunciation to provide hidden pattern practice.
Yes,
Okay.
listen.
I think.
I feel confused.
You know, for me, it's kind of redundant, you know, like, why are we doing this? Like, at some point, it is kind of the similar goals, but in one is fluency and the other one is, it's
Accuracy.
kind of the same. It's kind of the same. It just changes maybe the materials, you know?
Yes, it's a little bit tricky, but well, if you think that, let's do it. And then we can check, but we have to finish right now. So, Fabi, is
Yes, well,
the order
let's,
correct for you?
Well, let's leave it there because if not, we're not gonna move on. Then we can
Okay.
correct, as you say.
Okay, number 5. Memory games.
Sorry,
Memory
girls.
game. Okay, memory games. Okay. I think number 5 is with the, let me see, 9.
Well, it should be. Mhm.
Yes. No.
I think this one, the captions written on cards or in speech bubbles, could be memory games. I don't know.
Memory.
No, because it could be information gap.
Well, the teacher said that we come back. We can come back to the, or we can like back and forth to the speaking previous tests and these to check or compare. So let's do that. Let me open it.
Yes, no, I have it here. So memory. It says games like I went to market and bought and Chinese whispers.
Wait.
And this number 5. Games like market and vote. In Chinese whispers regarding changes like a
You know what Chinese whispers is, right? When
I
you
don't.
when you have students standing in a line, right, and you give them one message, like I went to the market and bought
apples.
oh yeah, and then you pass it along the line, and the student has to they have to whisper it. Yeah.
Okay.
And pass it along the line. Anyway, time's up. We're going to check the answers.
Okay.
So fortunately, I've got the answers here. You were good enough not to cheat. So I'll just quickly go through them with you. So dialogues and role play provide fluency practice to extend language use, develop social skills of interaction and turn taking. So pupils may be given a role cards. For example, pupil A, you want to buy some biscuits. Student B, it's the shop assistant, you haven't got any biscuits. Listen and participate. Point there is to involve students actively when listening to stories or rhymes to provide a meaningful and familiar context in which to repeat language. So that could be storybooks, rhymes, riddles, and poems. We'll see an example of that later in the story section. Dramatization. That's to provide a memorable occasion for practicing spoken English, to develop confidence, to develop memory skills, to provide integrated skills, develop social skills of interaction and turn taking. So storybooks could be there, scripts could be optional, or it could be improvisation. Yeah, various materials for related activities and puppets, always useful. Memory games. Develop memory skills, practice pronunciation, provide hidden pattern practice, improve concentration and listening skills. So short messages or lists of items that they have to try and remember. Information gap. Get them to work independently of teacher, practice fluency, use language for real communication because they're exchanging information as you do in real life. So interaction and turn taking. Worksheets for pupils A and B. So each student needs a worksheet with different information on it, like a table with gaps in it, like in a timetable or a diary. So you want to come to an agreement about when to meet next week. So you give student A a page from a diary with a calendar with some dates filled in, and student B with a diary, a calendar with some dates filled in, and the students try and negotiate when they can meet. So that's a typical information gap. Retelling a story. So that's to check if students have understood the main events in the story, pronunciation practice, as well as some storytelling techniques such as disguising the voice, alternating pace, and so on. That's useful. Okay. So as captions on written written on cards or in speech bubbles, picture prompts, questionnaires or surveys. Again, practice fluency, real communication, develop social skills of interaction and turn taking, listening skills, use the information collected for a specific purpose. So this is a bit similar to the, what's it called? The integrated skills that we looked at last week. Worksheets for students, pupils to complete. Okay. Now, I'd like you to work in the same group, but actually this time think about the how to choose one of these activities, just one activity, yeah, that you would like to do with your group of students. Or if you're not, actually teaching at the moment, that's okay, but maybe you could think about an activity, one of these activities that you would like to teach. All right. So it's a blank white Jamboard. Ines and Lulu. Okay. So I'd like you to try to set up the activity like we did the other week. Yeah. With the worksheet activity. Okay, so any of those activities on the Google form, but you have to choose one. So what about Ines and Lulu? What do you think you will do? Does any one of these interest you?
Maybe the storytelling.
Storytelling. Okay, that makes sense because we're going to do that later. Storytelling. All right, put that down. Okay. And what about you, Stephanie, Jessica, and Fabiola? Which one do you think you will choose? Which speaking
Do
activity?
you think, Fabi, we are going to talk between us? What do you think about memory games? Or what do you think, Fabi and Steffi?
Well, I would say dialogues and role play. I don't know. What about you?
Okay, choose
It's
quickly. How about dialogues and role play? That would be a good one because it's a good sort of fluency.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll give you a few minutes to put on stickies the stages for setting up the activity. Okay, maybe one
Okay.
of you could be the writer. The others can make suggestions. Just kind of brainstorm. It's okay just to brainstorm. To no right answers to this. But please screen share when you're doing it, so it'll make it easier. Okay.
Okay.
Into the breakout rooms again. Starting now.
steps. Right? I don't know.
Yeah, but this was the exercise from the previous class. It's
Okay,
number
so yeah, you need to go to page 1.
Ah, 1. Okay.
Yeah.
there. And you have
Okay.
to say,
So we write the steps here.
yeah,
Mm. Is there like a text? Oh, yeah.
one would be like,
It
I think
says,
it's a previous slide, so maybe if you can like
The
just
other one, but
Yes.
yes.
it says pupils could act out a shopping dialogue, making use of the shop corner. That was the
Dialogue.
example. Mhm.
No?
Dialogue. Can you see it, Steffi?
No, I'm struggling a bit. Wait, girls, please let me open mine. So wait, please. But you
If you
can
want, I can share this part.
No, it's okay. No
Yes.
worries.
Let me see mine because I can't find it. I think it's here on the same. Oh God, what is that? I'm going to move it.
We need to hurry because if not, we're wasting a lot of time. Let me.
Is this?
Yes.
Yes, it's that one.
Okay, so is the role, what is that? Number 2. Role play provides an opportunity for language that has been presented in one context to be used in another. For example, pupils could act out a shopping dialogue, making use of the shop corner. Now this is the other one. So we have to create the stages, isn't it?
That's right.
Uh-huh. What do you think, guys? Girls? You are not guys, girls.
We need to. Okay.
then maybe, here you can put like the vocabulary, as you said, but like making a list of settings from the story.
This is about like the pictures.
Uh-huh.
So like settings.
With
them
pictures, right?
with pictures, so then students can can organize them.
Yep. Then you can like ask them what.
Okay, I'm going to write as a plan. That's fine. I think we have to show them, oh no, I'm sorry.
We just need
To
Give me
show them,
like
And-
step 1, to create an easy and funny or engaged role play for them.
So, can you write?
Yes.
No.
No.
Okay, so I think we have to show them.
Sorry, I didn't give you much time for that, but it's kind of deliberate because we can't waste too much time. We need to move on to writing. So let's, Ines and Lulu, can you just talk us through your activity? Don't worry if you haven't written everything down. You can just improvise anything else. So please go ahead. Share if you wish. Share the screen.
Yeah. We have like, first we have to read the original story to the students. Then we can make a list of characters and they will choose their character to retell the story. Ines, you want to go on?
Yeah, then we thought that we could make like the list of settings with pictures, and they could use it as prompts to organize the story from what they remembered. Then we also said like we could ask the students like as a discussion, what did they think about the beginning of the story or the ending of the story, and if they could provide like an alternative, like a different alternative to the ending of the beginning. And then maybe we're thinking before they get to retell their story, maybe we needed to provide them with like more of the vocab, because that has like a list as well of words they could use when retelling the story. Yeah, but we didn't finish. It was very quick.
We stop like in that point, but of course then you have to let them to think and to create their new story, and you are like only passing and checking what are they doing, what are they saying, maybe.
Good. Yeah, I like it. Thank you. Did pretty well in the short time you had. So the other group was Stephanie, Jessica. You didn't progress that much either, but just tell us what you would do for your, was it dialogues?
Yes, it's dialogues.
Yes, it was role play with dialogues and role play.
Please.
We didn't progress that much either. I mean, this is what we were trying to finish setting up. I don't know if you could see my screen. Yes.
Well, just talk us through it while it comes on
Yes,
the
I'm
screen.
going to
There we
show
go.
it.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Yes, we were trying to separate the first stages, like first to organize the group in pairs so they can work at the same time together, but with the specific parts of the language. Then maybe state a situation that they could be regular on their normal lives. In the example, it was maybe going to the supermarket, but we could try to also, I don't know, when they play video games or something that it could be attractive to them, and then together start agreeing on the target language and what phrases they could use regarding the situation. And that's where we stopped.
Yeah. Sometimes course books help you with this, and they provide you with a sort of a structure for the dialogue, right? So, you know, going to the shops, like say you want to buy a new computer, and shopkeeper, and the shopkeeper, and the instructions are give the customer different options and so on. Yeah. So you can structure dialogues and role plays to give more support or take away support. But good, yeah, you did pretty well. Now, let's move on to writing. So, this is a bit more text-based. So at the end of this session on writing, we should be able to understand the difference between how children learn to write in L1 and L2, first language and second language, understand ways of creating a supportive writing classroom, understand what are appropriate writing skills to instruct in at the beginning and later stages of a child's development, understand the basic principles of writing as a process, and don't think we'll get a chance to cover a genre approach, but writing as a process, yeah. So for this, we're going to need the handout, teaching writing handout for version 2. Send it to you again via chat, but it was in the email I sent you. Teaching writing. Here we are. Okay. Okay, so this is from this book I highlighted earlier, Primary English Teacher's Guide. Okay, and there's a little gist reading for you to do. So you have to read this extract 1. And match these 4 sentence halves together based on the content of the text. So you've got to read it quickly and match. Let's just check these together. Young pupils, personalized writing that enables them to write about their knowledge, experience, and feelings. The community purpose. Okay, so you've got to match the numbers to the letters based on the text. Give you a couple of minutes to do that. Do it as quickly as you can. All right, your 2 minutes is up. Don't worry if you didn't read into too much detail. That wasn't the purpose. Let's ask each one of us to complete. So, young pupils, Ines, how would you complete that sentence?
Young pupils may need to copy letter shapes to practice handwriting, develop knowledge of lexis and spelling, and practice sentence structures.
That's right, yeah. Yeah. Second year pupils, it's a bit vague as to what second year actually means, but it means slightly more advanced than the very young ones. So, Fabiola, how would you complete second year pupils?
I think it might be letter D. May do writing that provides language practice, helping them to consolidate vocabulary, grammatical structures, and sentence patterns.
That's quite right. Jessica, children enjoy. What do children enjoy? I can't hear you.
Letter B. Are more aware of the communicative purpose of writing. No?
Children enjoy. Partly it's grammatical, so you should be able to figure out the answer from the grammar. Personalized writing, yes, so it's A, yeah? And then older pupils is B, right? They're more aware of the communicative purpose of writing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we need to like display their work and so on. So they get a chance to read it, read each other's writing.
A.
So that's B. Make sense?
Yes.
No. So these authors, Brewster and Ellis, say it's important to contextualize writing activities. What do they mean by this?
That it's very important to know the context or what's happening around.
Why?
Because you can, for example, when you're not native speaker, you can, if you don't know the meaning of a word, you can actually figure it out with the context.
But look in the text that by Brewster and Ellis. What do they actually say about context? So let's go back to their article. Okay, and it says, the more pressing need is to ensure writing is contextualized and, where possible, sometimes relates to a real-life situation. As when pupils write up the results of a survey they have carried out with classmates. Right. So, contextualized suggests that it's to do with and communicative suggests that it's not just to do with writing for writing's sake or writing to practice the language. Right. So if I give you an example. If I say to students, write 10 sentences about your favorite pop band, right? That's a writing exercise, but it's not a very contextualized writing exercise, is it? Yeah. A more contextualized writing exercise might be write a review of the Billie Eilish concert that happened this week, right? Report on what went wrong, right? And make it into a blog, you know, or an Instagram post. You know, that's more contextualized. All right, now let's go on to spelling.
Yes,
Okay, so
because
yeah,
sorry about the writing the review that you were talking about. Does it also have to do with purpose? Because they also have they
It
see a
does.
purpose.
It does, yeah, and it makes it more
Like excited.
motivating, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, on to English spelling. Not going to get you to ask to read it. I'm not going to get you to read it out loud because that's kind of time consuming and boring. But I want you to read the activity, the extract, and do the activity below it. Okay. So read it first and then put the 7 stages of the look, say, cover, and write technique in the correct order. Okay, I'll give you about 4 minutes for that. You have about 1 more minute. When you think you have stages of the look, say, cover, write, and check technique in the right order. Put them into the chat according to the letters. Which letter goes first, do you think? Is it A to G? So what do you think? Is Ines correct? Ah. Okay, well, the correct, so Ines got it almost completely right. Okay, so it's first C, then it's A, then it's D, and it's B. So it's C, A, D, B, G, F, and E. That's the correct order, supposedly. A, D, B, G, F, and E. Now, number 2 says, identify which of the following styles, visual, auditory, linguistic, and kinesthetic, is being used at each stage. We could do that together, couldn't we? So starting with C, what do you think that is? Is that visual, auditory, linguistic, or kinesthetic?
I think that's visual, letter C.
Right. And then number 2, which is auditory, right? 2A, because we're saying the words and the letters out loud. So auditory.
Linguistic? No, literally.
Okay, we could call that linguistic as well, but it's mostly auditory. And what about D? Write the word in the air with one finger several times.
Visual.
I think
It-
that's kinesthetic.
It's kinesthetic, isn't it? Yeah, because you're moving. Anything involving movement. What about B?
B?
Cover the word, and because B is the fourth one. Cover the word and try and write it correctly on paper, syllable by syllable. Is that visual or kinesthetic?
I think it's kinesthetic.
Yes, because you're using the motor skills, right? The fine motor skills. And then it's G. Make sure you have a letter for each of the most important sounds.
It's visual.
The key word is sounds.
Well, then auditory.
Uh-huh. Then it's F. See if it looks right.
Visual. Yep. Visual.
And E is visual. Check if the spelling is correct. If not, repeat. So visual, yeah.
Visual.
Because that requires your eye to look at the words. So, multi-sensory approach. Do you think that's a good idea when teaching spelling? Seems like a good idea to me because that way, you know, students do have different learning preferences, and if you're appealing to different learning preferences, you're probably going to make sure the students learn it more thoroughly. Seems like a good approach.
Teacher,
Hmm.
can you show me the other slide where you have the answers for the first activity, please?
Which activity?
The letter A, the text, and where we have to match.
Oh, yes. Well, this one?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Now we're going to do a slightly longer reading. And the topic is writing in the later stages. And it's C on the worksheet here. So Brewster and Ellis believe that providing support frameworks to pupils for writing production is important. What reasons can you think for this? Why do you think it's important to provide support for writing? Any ideas? Don't read it yet, but why do you think it's important? Why do you think that they may think it's important to provide support frameworks to pupils for writing production?
Maybe to set a goal, like why they are writing and such.
That could be part of it, couldn't it? It could be part of the motivation. Yeah.
Also to give them some confidence on what are they doing.
Yeah, confidence and direction. Yes, go ahead, Jessica.
Yes, well, I think that it's important that we show them the simple structure, like a guide. For example,
yeah.
subject plus verb plus complement, and give them, for example, now you have to write in past. or
Okay, but
present.
that's grammar. Why is it important to provide structure for writing?
Yes, only simple structure.
But why?
For what? Because in this way they can, they feel confident how to begin.
All right. But have any of you studied any educational theory? Have you heard of anything? Have you heard of constructivist
Yes.
theory of education? Anyone?
Yes,
Or
from
social
Vygotsky, right?
constructivist? Can you say a little bit about that, Fabiola?
Well, as I remember, it's about the structures that we build in order to learn. And when we learn, we don't learn by zero. It's more like a little bit kind of destroying a little bit our past belief and then taking what is new and rebuild that structure.
Yeah. So there's a lot of this metaphor of construction, isn't there? Huh? Now, in Spanish, you have a word called andamio. Huh? Or andamiaje. I think we've talked about this before, haven't we? Yeah. Now, in English, what is the word? Scaffolding. My son is saying scaffolding. Yeah. Now, what does scaffolding suggest to you?
Sure.
Huh?
It's like a rough structure
It's a rough structure, yeah, like a metal structure on the exterior of a building.
outside. On outside.
And as the building goes up, we take away the andamiaje, right? The scaffolding. Right. So here is the theory behind what Brewster and Ellis are saying. So they may believe in the importance of scaffolding. This is the metaphor as temporary interactional support that is given to learners while their language system is under construction. So this support from teachers, parents, or better others, it could be an older brother. It doesn't have to be parents or teachers, right? Or it could even be another student in the group, yeah, who's better at it than others. All right. That enables them to perform a task at a level beyond their present competence. Yeah. So educational theorists have been studying this for quite a while, and they all agree that when you're performing a complicated task, especially with younger learners, you need to give them plenty of support. So here are some examples of the different kinds of support that they may need. Okay, so I'd like you to read the article. And at the end, be prepared to tell me what forms of support they mention. Okay, you may not understand, for example, what a Venn diagram is. Yeah, but that's one example that they give. So I want you to read it in about 3 minutes and into the chat mention some of these forms of support. So here we go. All right, so the 3 minutes is up. What forms of support did they mention in the article? They mentioned tick charts, right? Anything else? Flow charts? Venn diagram? Yeah. What about word maps? Like the tree diagram, yes. Okay, and how about flow diagram? Okay, so that's all about. It's a bit abstract at this stage, isn't it? So I'm not really sure what these things mean. So I'm going to give you a little activity that involves matching the types of, okay, so visual support is the activity here. It's in the email pack that I sent you, and it looks like this. Coming into the chat now. So you got examples of these forms of visual support. There are 9 examples of them. So you've got to match the numbers with the letters on the previous handout. Oh, sorry, I'll just give the numbers a name. So grid matrix, Venn diagram, flow chart, tree diagram, timeline, bullseye chart, graph, pie chart, tick chart. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 9 pictures. Okay, I'm going to put you into your breakout rooms, and I'd like you to match the numbers with the names. What do you think number 1 is going to be? Number 1 in the on this list here. Is that a Venn diagram?
No, that's the tick chart.
Tick chart, yes. All right, so put you into breakout rooms and you can match them. Shouldn't take you long, maybe about 4 or 5 minutes. Please screen share.
It didn't send me to any breakout rooms, teacher. Ah, thank
There
you.
go.
Okay, so we got the number one was the tick chart. Number two.
Number 2 is the pie chart. No, pie chart. It's like the last one, I think.
I think it's like a bullseye, because it looks like something you can
Yeah,
like throw at.
Yep.
Okay, so bullseye.
it's an ugly name.
Like the game. Number three.
Is the flow chart?
It looks like a
You're right.
Number four. I don't have the names.
I have it here in the.
Oh.
We have grid matrix, Venn diagram, timeline, bull's eye chart, flow chart, graph, pie chart,
it-
and 3.
Is it a grid? We did a grid. No?
4, yep.
You may need to go on to the next page. There are
Ah,
three more
it's the other
activities on the next page.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, there's one more. That's the grid.
What did you think about number 6?
It's like a hanger, no? It's like a tree almost.
Exactly.
It
I was
looks
about
like
to
a
say.
tree diagram. Diagram.
Yes. I'm
Tree?
looking.
Oh, yes.
Tree diagram number 6.
I put it with blue.
I think. I don't know. It looks like a tree.
Yes, I mean, it's a hanger, but like maybe you put the person on the top that you like the most, like my dog is in the top.
Okay, now. Oh, girls, I can't find the names.
So a
In
graph.
here, for example, it says in the number 7, as you can see, it's a little bit on the side, but it's like a timeline. It's a timeline and then a graphic. But then there is a graphic. I remember there was something like a graphic.
No,
But
number
that's a
7.
different number, sorry. The graphic, it's another number, so.
Graphic is number 8.
Uh-huh.
Ah, that's
Graphic is
true.
number 8, and number 7 is timeline, I think.
Yes. Well, I'm gonna put the number 8 with this color.
Number 8 is
Graphic.
graphic.
And the
Graph.
number 7, yes, it's a timeline.
Yes, a timeline. So we have 2, 3, and 4. I don't know what is number 3.
The number 3, you know, it's like a set. Steffi, I am sure that you made it as well, because when we got the exposition of the life cycle, you were
Of
the
the butterfly, yes.
I was the frog.
Flow chart, because it's flowing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Flow.
Or because it has flow.
Yes.
Okay, let's go.
For example,
It's
now
a flow
I'm
chart.
I'm gonna
You
put
can
number
circle
3.
it, Fabi.
flow
Yes.
chart, yes.
We're just missing number 4, I think so.
This looks like a target to me. Number 2, I don't know.
Number 2?
But I don't know the names, guys. Number 4, It's
No,
similar
Ah,
to.
bullseye chart.
Bullseye chart. That's right. Yeah, it's like a
Yes,
Ah,
because
yes,
it's like
ojo de
a
toro.
line like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
I don't know anything. I only guess. because of the picture, because of the imagine.
Yes.
Just
And
in
what?
time.
A chart. And then
Right, that was fairly easy, wasn't it? Yeah.
More or less.
So number one was the tick chart, right? Number
the
two
chart.
was bullseye. Number three was
Low.
flow.
Low.
Number
Bulls.
four, matrix. Yeah. Grid or matrix.
Five.
Five
Venn
is Venn
diagram.
diagram. Number six,
Tree.
tree. Yeah. Like a
Timeline.
family tree almost, isn't it? Number
Yes.
7 will be the timeline.
Timeline.
Graph.
8 is graph, and 9 pie
Graph.
chart.
Pie chart. Yes.
Yeah. Now, next task is therefore to choose one of the visual support activities and be prepared to tell the whole group how you would adapt it or use it with a class that you know. Okay, so we'll do it like we did with the speaking. Okay, so let's see. Stephanie, Jessica, Fabiola, which visual support activity will you choose?
Is this going to be aimed for like older learners or for young learners?
Well, younger learners, yeah.
Okay.
So which one will you choose very quickly between you?
Girls other than you, I think I would choose the flow chart or the tick chart.
I would say the T-shirt because it's easier for them to identify with the images. So
Okay.
I would choose
All right, let's go for tick chart for you guys then. And I put it on your, we'll use the Jamboards as we did before. Okay, Ines and Lulu, which one will do you go for?
I will choose flow or tree diagram. What do you think, Ines?
I think, yeah, the Venn diagram to be a bit different.
Yeah, let's try. Why don't you try the Venn diagram, you two? Okay.
To be different.
Yeah,
But let's see.
some variety, right?
Mm.
Venn diagram. Venn diagram's a good one. Yeah. So you can use the sticky notes on the Jamboard to write down your ideas. Okay, I'll give you about 5 or 6 minutes into the chat box here. All right. So please screen share and write your ideas on the Jamboard. See how far you get. Just brainstorm some ideas, yeah?
Will
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
I think the first step will be to explain to the students what are they going to do, what is the Venn diagram.
And maybe with one as an example.
Yeah.
So
You want to share or I share mine?
I can share.
Okay.
So, one.
I
Oh,
already.
you did it. Oh, okay. I see. Okay, that'll be step one. That's it. Then,
Number
are we
two.
doing animals? Or are we
Yeah.
doing something else?
No, animals, it's okay.
Animals? Okay. Um, maybe would we give them a list of animals? So it kind
Yeah.
of narrows it down so they can just organize first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like flashcards, right?
Flashcards with the animals that they will use.
Mm-hmm.
Going to with animals. that- they use. That. Okay. Okay. It's step three. Yeah, we already
Okay, yes, Now, number 2. Well, or the next one.
I would say, Jessie, what do you think?
I think in this case, you were talking about show them vocabulary.
Mm-hmm.
We can show them some images too. For
No, but
example,
remember this,
like a
Jessie, that
little,
we're
like
gonna
a
look
little cards with images.
Mm-hmm.
For example, shoes and jackets and t-shirts. Because in this case, you are using this skill, visual skills.
I say the next one is to present the tick chart, maybe on the board.
Yes, the table with information.
And the next one should be to ask them to look around if they can recognize.
Said they will put animals that live or that share habitats, right?
Because if we
Like, I'm imagining that we will set like general species, not like polar bear, grizzly bear, only like bear, and they can share like Arctic habitat and forest and I don't know, can be. I'm imagining something like that.
but it'll be like wild animals.
Yeah. Have to organize the wild habitat, the wild animals into habits. Hmm.
Because even with the flashcards, they can do that,
Yeah.
right? Put them
Yep.
into like, okay, which animals live in the desert, in the Arctic, in the
Then you will, once they finish, they can write, like, a script to explain their Venn diagram. And then at the end, they will have to present to their classmates, maybe.
but are we gonna put like, I don't know,
Like
we're gonna
number,
like jungle? Like if
Yeah.
it's the jungle.
What I have, so
Well,
Do you think a description or only a sentence?
it depends on the ages, right? Because if
It
it is
depends.
too young, yes, but I'm kind of aiming for 4th graders, you know. I don't know,
yes,
because 3rd or 4th graders, because first and second it could be just words, you know, to write the words on their
Yes,
notebook
the
next
notebook.
to,
Yes.
yeah. But it depends on the ages. It's not,
It depends. Okay.
and then maybe they can draw the meaning instead of translate the word. They can draw.
yeah,
the
I would like to draw, for example, now that they build a description, they can actually make a drawing, you know, like an illustration of what they saw.
And then
I think that's it.
I hope so.
Yes, hopefully.
Because we're always very time tight, right?
Yes, we're missing something.
Yeah, exactly.
But let's just review a little bit just to check if we're not missing something.
yes.
There. We become social.
All right, so a quick bit of feedback to the group. So Ines and is it Fabi?
No, I think it was Lulu with Ines.
Ines and Lulu.
Yes.
You can show us your whiteboard if you wish.
Yes, we didn't finish, but
we have like,
this is what we were doing. We were kind of making our own example, so as well we could get our heads around this. So we said that we are going to teach animals and their habitats using the Venn diagram. But first we would kind of show them an example and then give them different flashcards, and they would have to organize the flashcards into like categories of habitats. And maybe then they could put it into their diagram, something like this.
Ah, interesting. And what do you expect the students would write?
like they will try to show that they understand the topic, like habitats or wildlife, and they have to write like what kind of animals live in the jungle, and I don't know, something like that, and how they can share habitats also.
Maybe they're learning like a model like a snake lives in the jungle.
Uh-huh.
Camel
And
lives
also the
in
desert,
desert.
right?
Yes.
And then they could also
Yeah.
combine
Yeah.
a snake lives in the jungle and the desert.
Right.
they
So
can
that would
also
help them
combine.
to structure their ideas, right, before they write them. So that's why it's all about scaffolding, isn't it? Because it helps to support their ideas, build their
Mhm.
ideas. Yeah. Yeah, good job.
Oh,
And then we have the other three. Jessica, Stephanie, and Fabiola.
Well, I'll stop.
Oh, okay. So can you see my screen, guys? Well, girls, can you see? Yes.
It's coming up.
Not yet.
Thanks.
You could go ahead and explain while we wait for it to come up.
Well, we decided to work with the topic of school supplies and materials that you can find in the classroom. So first, we would introduce the target language words and show them flashcards related to these words, this new vocabulary. Then we would present the tick chart on the board and explain them how does it work. Like they need to go around and look for the new words, like for example, the eraser, the board, the chess, the book. And if they find them, we were going to put a tick on the chart. So if they don't find it, then we leave it empty. Then we would check the answers together and assess the information. And after, we would instruct them to build a description of their own classroom using the new words. After that's done, ask them to create an illustration of their own classroom and share with a partner what they created.
All right. It's okay, but it's a bit abstract because I'm trying to imagine what sort of vocabulary that you would use on the tick chart. Here it was clothing, right? Clothing suitable for different weather.
Yes, for example, we imagined things that you can find easily in a classroom. That could be the board, the book, maybe, I don't know, the eraser of the board. We can also find desk. And we describe even like uniform, the jackets. And we also said that we were going to mention things that don't belong in the classroom. For example, we said a hair comb.
Okay.
So if it's not in the classroom, we cannot put a tick.
All right. And what sort of writing do you think would be the outcome of this? What is the product, the writing product?
We were talking about my classroom, like a description of what they can see in my classroom, like a very personal perception using the new words. But also that's why we were kind of discussing which kind of kids would be developing the activity, which said like maybe 4th graders, because then they can build a better structure and unify the words and link them together in sentences. But that's why also we said to instruct them in the illustration, because regardless of if it's correct or not correct or there's grammatic mistakes, they can express what they saw, the experience, through the drawing.
All right. But it seems to be lacking something of a context for the writing. It's like, okay, what writing product are you expecting at the end? So it's not bad, but I think it needs a bit more development, that.
So what would be, for example, a good aim that you could help us with in this?
Well, look at the original tick chart idea. Where is it going? What's it going to be about? Probably it's going to be writing about what clothes are suitable for what types of weather. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So it could be in the form of some sort of report. Yeah, when it's snowing, you need to wear coat, shoes, and gloves. But when the weather is raining, yeah, so maybe a 3-paragraph sort of report would be appropriate there. So you need to consider what is the outcome or product at the end of the writing. Now, just to finish, the process of writing on our handout, page 4. It's important to share with children the understanding that writing is a process that passes through different stages. The diagram below shows the 3 main categories of planning. Drafting. Drafting is a borrador, right? Have you heard that expression? Borrador.
Yes.
Yeah. And revising. So you need to put these stages into the structure. Okay, so do this individually, please. Take you a couple of minutes. Right. So, Jessica, what would go into the planning stage in this process?
I think the first step could be create a create an outline. I have a lot of those because the first I have written choose a topic.
Yeah, that is in fact the right answer. The first one is choose a topic.
Okay, so this is the first one. Yes, choose
Then?
a topic and then create an outline. So I don't understand this meaning in reality.
There's something that comes before create an
Okay.
outline.
Okay, so the first one is choose a topic.
Yeah, then in the middle.
In the middle, generate ideas.
Yes, good. Then
The
good, thank you. And Ines, can you help us with drafting and revising?
Yeah, for drafting, it would be write the first draft. Then I would edit and revise that draft. After that, I would do like a last proofreading of that, and then I think it would be ready for publishing, submitting.
That's correct, completely correct. Yes.
Thank you.
So part of the writing, especially for older learners, is to show them this process. And we can also use visuals to show them the product of the writing, as our handout states. So the articles typically use an inverted pyramid, whereas essays use a hamburger. Great. I think we can now take our break. Sorry, I've kept you going just to finish this writing. So let's take a 15-minute break. So return at 11. 11:40. Let's return. Okay. Make yourself a coffee, and we'll come back and do stories again.
Okay, teacher, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, storytelling reloaded. So the aims of this session are to evaluate and practice a variety of storytelling activities that we'll be able to use in your own classes. We'll discuss the value of TPR in storytelling and practice one. Well, I think we'll probably only just have time for one TPR activity, which I will demonstrate. So I'm going to give you some activities. I'd like you to demonstrate the activity with the rest of the group. And I'm going to give you some preparation time to demonstrate the activity. Now, if it's not possible for you to demonstrate it, you can kind of explain the activity, but it would be better if it was demonstrated. So just to stop here, and after each demonstration, discuss your answers to these questions. Who's doing the storytelling? Who is doing the story writing? Which learning styles does it suit? Is it visual? Is it auditory or kinesthetic? Could you adapt the activity and use a different story? What age group do you think it's suitable for? So here is the list of activities. Going to give it to you again. I've nominated, just to save a bit of time, I've nominated the people who are going to do the activities. So, Jessica and Stephanie, can you please prepare to demonstrate multi-voice storytelling? Sharing personal stories. Lulu, could you do that one? Interrupting the storytelling. That Ines, could you try to do that one? Story dominoes. Fabiola. Okay, so I'm going to give you about between 10 to 15 minutes to prepare to demonstrate your story. All right. Like I said, if you find it difficult to demonstrate, well, in that case, I'll accept an explanation. So starting, I'll put Jessica and Stephanie into a breakout room so you can talk together, yeah? Because you might have to do this together to prepare that one. Any questions before we begin? Okay, so I'm going to give you about 10 minutes to prepare.
We have this document in the email, right?
I sent it in the email, yeah, but I've just attached your names. So activity 1 is Jessica and Stephanie. Activity 2, Lulu. Activity 3, interrupting storyteller. To be able to demonstrate it, you might be able to use a Jamboard, for example. Huh? For the fantasy story dominoes, that might work well on a Jamboard. All right. So I'm going to put Stephanie and Jessica in one room together so you can talk about it. The multi-voice storytelling.
I can say.
No, it's okay. Just
Yeah.
let's focus in this
Yes,
part, because
the
if not,
text. If you want, I can share my screen.
yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, wait a minute. I think we have this. Yes, I think we can create a Jamboard.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
So let's start, because if no, wait,
Mhm.
doing something. Oh, wait.
Mhm.
Do you have a story you can tell?
Yes.
Yeah, we have
What's-
a story
what's-
too.
What's the story?
It's a story about a blue moon. Well, it depends of the age, but I have. Oh, wait. Okay, I have a story related to what is it? Sorry, wait.
It's a village in Vietnam.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
So,
You could use your own story,
Exactly.
right? Rather than a
Uh-huh.
village in Vietnam, because I don't know, maybe you've never been to Vietnam. I have been to
Yes.
Vietnam, but maybe you haven't. So, yeah. Maybe one closer to home. A more
I think
familiar
it will-
Mexican story would be fine.
A Mexican story, okay.
We've got about 7 minutes left.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Okay. Can see.
Jessie, can you share the link with me so I can paste it in that Jamboard?
Yes, you can see this in the, okay, I'm going to share with you.
Yes, please. And maybe you can add something else to the story, okay?
I have a lot of troubles with my,
No worries, just no worries, no worries, just
Is it Malinche? Not
La
Malinche.
Malinche. Yes.
Yeah, you need.
Okay.
You're
here
missing
it
an
is.
N, Jessie. That's why.
Yes, you have it.
But I'm telling you that you're missing an N in the
Yes.
title. Malin,
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. I did.
like that. Okay. So,
Okay, here is.
okay, thank you. Let me.
So we have to begin with this.
Wait. Okay, because this is. Well, I just wrote it.
Okay. Again, the Malinche.
I
Can you see?
Yes, Okay, what else, Jessie?
Okay.
Remember to make the story easy because they're young learners.
Yes, I think this is enough.
You think so?
Enough. Oh, okay. Well, maybe we have to write something, one more thing or two more things about the Malinche.
Okay, and maybe we can add an image. Let me look for it.
Let me see. I'm going to find it. Malinche. And maybe she was from Veracruz.
I can't remember. No, I don't think so. Well, it wasn't Veracruz in that moment.
Yes, I'm reading at this moment.
Okay.
Yes.
There you go. What else are you gonna add, Jessie?
And
How are you getting on? Are you okay? You think you're ready to start? What about you, Fabi? Marcel?
I have my doubts, but yeah, I can just
Okay.
jump.
You can do it, Fabi. You're an expert on storytelling.
No.
So, after each demonstration, we need to answer the questions. Who's doing the storytelling in the activity? Or who's doing the story writing? Which learning styles does this suit? Visual, auditory, or kinesthetic? Would you adapt the activity, could you adapt the activity and use a different story? What age group do you think the activity is suitable for? Okay, so who'd like to go first? I'm not going to dictate who should go first. Any volunteers? Lulu, go ahead.
Yeah, I got it. Let me share my screen. I can't share my screen.
So this
Okay.
is sharing personal life stories, right?
Yep. Okay, I love this exercise because I do it with my students almost all of the time because they love to talk about themselves. So I always start like with the main topic. In this case, we are going to talk about vacations. What did you do on your last vacations, right? And then I start with telling my own story. Like on my last vacation, I went to Guadalajara with my husband, and I went to a beautiful museum, and I love to be walking in this downtown. It was really hot, and at the end of my holidays, I could buy some strawberries when I was coming home. So this is my favorite fruit, and I enjoyed a lot. I loved these vacations. Now it's your turn to tell us your own story about vacations. So you will have to divide your page in 4, and you have to draw what did you do, who did you go with, and what was the thing that you like the most. And then I will say that they have like 10 minutes to do it. Once they finish, they are sitting like in teams. So they will have to share their story with their team. They will have 3 minutes to tell the story, each of them. And at the end, they have to change with other team, and they will have to do the same. They will have to tell the story and to listen the story. And of course, in the one, before they start, I will give them a list of words that they can use. For example, verbs in simple past, maybe vocabulary words about trips. And I think that's it.
Hmm. Good explanation. Yes, I think you followed the instructions as it was explained there. So yeah, 4 boxes is quite important, isn't it?
Yeah.
They tell each other their story based on the pictures they've drawn. And it's recommended that you model it first.
Yeah.
So let's just discuss those questions together. Who does the storytelling in this activity? Is it the teacher or the student?
The both.
Both.
You do it first.
Which learning styles does it suit?
I think 3 of them most visual.
Yeah. And auditory as well, because it involves listening. Could you adapt the activity and use a different story?
Yes, of course. They
Yeah.
can talk about any topic.
Yeah, it gives some examples there, doesn't it? You know, your life story or whatever.
Yeah.
Which age group is it suitable for?
I think it's for all elementary school. Also, you can do it with older learners because it's an easy activity, and it's something that in which they have to use their knowledge and their experience.
Right. Good. Okay, who's next? Anticipation. Ines, go ahead.
I can go next. I did a little Jamboard to just organize my ideas. I was the one with the interrupting story. So I thought first I would show like a picture to a student of, as well, the theme would be vacation. I would show them like a zoomed in picture and just ask them, what is this? Like, what do you think it is? They would give me like their predictions. Then I'd show them a picture maybe of the vacation, which would be at a beach. And I would ask them like, if they have any questions about the pictures, maybe they have, and I would model maybe some like what, why, when, who questions, like open questions. Then I would tell them, like any of those questions, I'm not going to answer now. Your questions is for later. I'm going to tell you a story about a vacation that I took. And during that time, you can ask me as many questions as you'd like. Just interrupt me. Just ask as many questions as you'd like. And I'll say, I promise not to get angry when you interrupt me. Just go. And then I would proceed to telling them a story, like something like, last vacation, I went to Acapulco, took us 6 hours to get to Acapulco. And of course, like I would pick a story that along the way, I'd find many problems to see if they can like ask me like, oh, why did that happen? Things like that. And probably when they interrupt me, I would just make like an angry face to make them more engaged. And as in the instructions said, I would just answer like very bluntly and just with an angry face to make it more engaging. And then I would go back into it, hopefully.
So we're all dying to try this then, aren't we?
Sorry?
We're all dying to try this. We all want to try it.
Oh, you want to try it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're going to tell the story, right? And we'll interrupt.
Yes, I'll try just as far as I could get. Ready? Everyone's ready? You can interrupt me whenever you want. Yes? Okay. So I didn't get a picture, sorry. I'll just go into the story. So last vacation, I went to Acapulco.
Why
It took
Acapulco?
me because I love Acapulco. And it took me
Where is
6 hours.
Acapulco?
Where's Acapulco? It's near a beach. You know where it is.
But
Okay.
what beach?
What beach? Just Acapulco, Diamante. Okay.
Okay.
We checked into a hotel and they asked me for the reservation. Okay.
Was the hotel pretty?
Of course it was pretty. So I'm looking for my
What was
phone.
the weather like?
Sorry.
What was the weather like?
Oh, you know the weather in Acapulco. It's always great. It's always sunshine, you know. So,
But I don't know. I have never been in Acapulco.
well, you know, the sun is shining, it's bright, it's really hot, you know. So I'm checking in, I'm checking for my phone. Realized that my phone is in my house. I left my phone in my house. So the lady's like, but I need
I
your
don't
reservation.
have a phone because my parents told me it's not good for me, so
Yeah,
I
but
would
did you?
love to have a phone.
I know. It's great to have a phone, but I didn't have a phone in that moment. So I
Why did you
just,
forget it?
sorry,
Why did you forget your phone?
that's a great question, Lulu, but you know, I just forgot it. I just left it somewhere. Anyway, so
Where
I
was
have to
it?
show her my, sorry,
Where was it? Did you
I
find
don't
it?
know. Well, I found it. I just left it in the boot of the car. Can you believe it?
Oh, okay.
So I'm there, I'm showing them my
May I
card,
go
which
to
I
the
paid the.
bathroom?
Of course, Lulu, go to the bathroom. So,
Teacher, maybe for the next time you can wear something to put your cell phone on so you're not going to forget it anywhere.
you're
maybe.
right. I should have worn something with pockets. You're right. So I showed her the card and they said, okay, you can go to your room. Then I
Did
said, I
you
don't
go
have
with your
anything.
boyfriend?
I went with my husband. Yes, Lulu.
Ah,
Yes.
Are you married?
I am married. There you go. Now you
when
know
did
something
you
about
get
me.
married? When did you get married?
Well, it was not in Acapulco. Let me
Are
tell
you
you
gonna
that.
have babies? I
Maybe
have a
one day.
brother.
So then
Do
I
you have
went to
pets?
the supermarket. What, Lulu?
Do you have pets?
Pets? No, I don't have pets.
Why?
No, Lulu, she's
They
gonna have
wouldn't-
babies.
They
That's
wouldn't
what I
accept
said.
pets in Acapulco either. So I
I love
No.
pets.
Sorry, Jessica.
I love pets.
Oh, I know. But then I went to the
And I think
supermarket
too.
with my husband. I went to the supermarket with my husband to get supplies. He went and got bathroom things. I went to get food. And guess what?
What
I didn't
kind of
have.
food?
Oh,
What
you know,
kind
in
of food?
Acapulco.
I like sushi.
You like sushi? Well, I got just ice cream. You know,
Yes, ice cream. Yes.
Chocolate?
Chocolate ice
Okay.
cream is my
Chocolate ice
favorite
cream.
one.
Yes,
Me
yes.
too.
I got lots of those because it's hot in Acapulco. So then I
But
tried to
you
find
have
my husband.
stores and you have restaurants. Why did you buy ice cream in a supermarket?
That's a good question. But you know, I'm not rich. I'm just a teacher. So we only go to the supermarket, not enough money. So I got lost. I couldn't find my husband. I couldn't find him anywhere in the supermarket. And I didn't have my phone.
Why did he leave you? That's awful. He's horrible.
No, you know, he just went to get food, the bathroom supplies, and I went to get food. We were working as a team. Anyway, I had to go to the information desk.
My
To the
mom
microphone.
says that if you leave someone like that, that's rude. So you should be angry. But it's okay,
Yeah.
teacher, you're really nice.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So I went to the information desk and I had to talk in the microphone to find him. I had to do an announcement.
I have a pink microphone to sing at home. Super
Yes.
funny.
Could you do an announcement on your microphone?
Yes, of course.
Mhm. So I did the announcement.
Teacher, Jessie is disturbing Stephanie.
Sorry.
Jessie is disturbing Stephanie.
Oh no,
Yes,
Jessie is
she's
doing.
kicking my chair. She's kicking my
Yes.
chair.
Oh no, guys, just stop. You know,
And teacher, I'm
Feet
starving
and
right
hands
now.
to
Can we have a
yourselves.
snack time? Because I'm starving right now. Can we have snack time?
after
Yes,
my
have
Acapulco
breakfast.
story. After my Acapulco story. Okay,
But
we haven't
why?
finished.
Acapulco,
And I
actually.
want more questions. I want more questions. Okay, remember, open questions. What, why, when, who. Okay, so
When can we have the snack?
that's a great question. You did a why, but it's not time yet. Okay, not
Okay.
time yet.
So what time is the lunch?
I think it will be at 12:30,
And what time is it right now?
12:15.
Um,
But I think that's as long as I got my story there. I hope you liked it.
Yes.
It
nice.
is fun. It is fun.
You get mad, you get desesperated, you failed.
You did very well not to lose your patience.
I work with very little children. I think I got used to it. So
So I think most of us would agree that it's mostly the teacher doing the storytelling, right?
mhm.
Which learning styles does it suit?
More the maybe auditory and
It's more auditory, isn't it? Because it's
Auditory,
listening carefully, isn't it? And asking questions.
mhm.
And it's quite good for generating questions, isn't it? Maybe you could give them a list of questions to help them if they're not very good at forming questions. Before
Maybe
you
at the
begin,
start, right?
Yeah.
Give them the model printed so
Yeah.
they have it.
Could you adapt the activity, use a different story
Yes.
quite easily? Which age group do you think it's suitable for?
I think older, but like you said, maybe younger with a bit more structure with the questions. But I think
Bit
the
more
older
support,
groups
yeah,
would
yeah.
really have fun with this.
Yeah,
So,
great, good job.
thank you.
So who's next? So we've had
Jessica and
interrupting
I.
and sharing
Jessica
life
and I.
stories. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, Jessie, would you like to start? And then I can continue, or as you want?
I share the screen?
Yes,
Okay.
please.
Okay, yes. Okay. Can you tell me, please, if you can see? Yes or no? Yes? Okay, thank you. Well, our story is about the Malinche. And this is a big story, an amazing story from Mexico. And in this case, we are going to ask for the students to read the story. And then they have to tell us before, we have to show them a list of questions. And they have to tell us if they know something about this story, what they have known about this Malinche. Yes. Can you continue, Steffi?
Yes, well, I thought that actually we were going to ask them questions at the beginning of the class, like, do you know who's Malinche? You know what is related to? And then they can continue like, yes, I know that she was, I don't know, a beautiful Mayan princess or whatever. And then we can tell them the story. And then we can show them up some questions related to the story. And they can also share their own knowledge about the story. That's what I understood, Jessie, if I'm...
Yes, yes. So we were talking about it, and we were talking about if on the first part we can show them some images and begin to ask them about the story about the Malinche, and then they have to read it, or we have to read together, and that's all, I think. Yes, because we don't finish.
Well, I think you have a good story, but it wasn't exactly what the instructions required. So I think what would happen with the story like this is that Jessica, maybe as you as the main teacher, you would begin by telling the story of the Malinche, right? And then you have two people at the side of you. Maybe one of them would be Stephanie and another student. So when you get to Hernan Cortez, you might say, so Stephanie, tell us about Hernan Cortez. What do you know about him? Yeah. And then so that Stephanie takes the story in a different direction with her own knowledge about Hernan Cortez.
Mhm.
And then you as the main teacher would then come back and say, okay, so Millicent's father introduced them and they became good friends, but they fell in love with each other. She fell in love with him. Okay. And then you might say to the other student, Juana, what did Malinche do then? Did she help Hernan Cortez with his conquest of Mexico? How did she help? That sort of thing.
Like going back and forth, asking them questions and completing the story.
Yes, it's like a co-constructed story. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it involves more than one person. Okay, but thank you for that. It was a good story. Let's just answer the questions then.
Okay, these questions are here.
And they are here. So, oops. Who's doing the storytelling in this activity?
Both teacher and students.
And yes, it's involving the students as well. Which learning styles does this suit?
It could be kinesthetic because we're moving around.
It could involve some movement, couldn't it? Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And to visual because of the images.
Well, if you choose to use images, yes.
Images.
It could involve visual, auditory as well.
Yes,
because you're
auditory.
asking questions to the other
Auditory.
student.
Okay.
So it could be multiple. Could you adapt the activity and use a different story?
Yes.
No, I don't think so. Because it's related to Hernan Cortez and the Malinche, so we can't add another story.
Hmm.
Well, in my own opinion.
Okay, but I think you could still use the basic format but just substitute a different story, right?
Maybe ask them to create a different story with the same characters.
All right, that could be it. Yeah. And what age group do you think it's suitable for?
I think
Fourth
that-
graders,
Mhm.
maybe.
Fourth graders. Good.
Fourth grade, fourth, fifth,
Yeah.
and
Why?
Because of the structure of the story, the grammatical structure of the story, and also the conjugation of the verbs, and because of that.
All right. Okay. Good. And then finally, it's Fabiola with her dominoes.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna share with you the Jamboard. I was thinking that maybe we could role play a little bit. That's how I thought about it. So could you please let me know if you can open it?
Yes, I could open it. Fabiola.
Yes, teacher, I can.
Thank you. So I'm gonna share my screen so you can see what I can see as well. So in the first slide, this is going to belong to Ines, the second to Lulu, the third to Stephanie, and the fourth to Jessie. And what are we going to do? Well, we're going to tell a story together, okay? We're going to create it. So how the stories begin? They always begin with once upon a time, all right? What you have in your Jamboards are some hidden words, okay? They have been scrambled and they have been covered by some symbol. Your task is going to be to choose one of the cards, yes, to say the word when your turn is given, and then if you choose this one, then pass the word on the underside of the Jamboard so we can know that you already used it, yes? So in order, what's gonna be the order? Wait, I'm seeing first Ines. Then it's gonna be Lulu. Third is gonna be Steffi, and the fourth is gonna be Jessie, okay? So remember, as we are creating the story, you have to tell us which word it is and continue the story. So let's set an example. Let's imagine that I uncovered this card and I found stone. Yes, it's stone. So I have to start. Once upon a time, there was a very special stone. Yes. Then the next person, who would be Ines, have to choose a card, tell us the word, and continue the story. All right?
Okay, so I will
Okay,
choose
you
those
guys.
cards.
Yes, so are you ready to start, everyone? Yes, thank you so much for the thumbs up. All right, so let's begin. Ines, can you choose a card?
Yes. White horse. Okay.
Okay.
And so I continue the story.
Yes, please. You can start. Once upon a time. Yes.
There was a white horse galloping through the mountains.
All right, very good. Lulu, you go next. Lulu, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you, but I don't see the word. I already choose this card. Yeah, I got it. And
Yes.
then, and suddenly a storm started.
Okay, very good. Next one, Steffi, please.
Yes, okay. Then a magic carpet appeared.
Oh, wow. Continue, Jessie. We cannot hear you, Jessie. Which one was it? You are on mute.
Yes. Well, I told you that finally they saw a big boat.
Okay. So what's the relation between the carpet and the boat? What happened with the white horse, remember? What happened?
The first one was
Remember, there was a white horse that was galloping, and then it was a storm, and suddenly a magic carpet appeared. How does the boat what relationship has the boat in here? What happened?
they can take the boat and get out.
Ah, okay. So the horse and the magic carpet decided to go into the
To go on
boat.
boat. Yes.
All right. So Ines, what do you think they were going to on the boat?
Where do I think?
Choose a card.
I'll choose a card. Let me
Yes,
choose
what
a
do you
card.
think?
They were going to find the knight.
Oh, okay. They were going to find a knight. Excellent. All right. And then what happened, Lulu?
Then the white horse went to the dark forest to find.
Very good. He went into the dark forest to find what, Stephanie?
To find a big, enormous, huge mountain that in the top of it,
a mountain, yes.
that in the top of it, it was
what it was, Jessie? What did they found?
Okay. In this big mountain live a giant.
Ah, a giant. Okay. Okay, very good, you guys. So who wants to tell the story? Who wants to tell the story? Okay, so by the magic finger, Lulu, please help us.
Jessie wants to tell it. Jessie was like, me, teacher, me.
And then, go on. Jessie can do it after. Come on, Lulu. You tell us the story.
We start with the white horse was, I forgot where it was. And suddenly, he was running.
Yes.
And suddenly a storm started. And I forgot the drawing.
It's a magic carpet.
And then a storm started and the white horse went up to the magic carpet to fly to the, I can see your drawing, teacher.
It's a boat. It's a boat.
To reach the boat that will take him to the dark forest.
Yes, who do they find? Do you remember? Who is this person?
A prince?
Okay, well, maybe let's imagine that it has a helmet. Yes, and an armor.
Ah, night, night.
The night.
Thank you, Jessie. Yes, they found the knight.
You can go on, Jessie.
Okay, good. Thank you, Lulu. Continue, Jessie. What happened next?
Okay, after that, they go to a big mountain.
They went through where? To the...
They went through a big mountain, and suddenly appears a giant.
Oh, okay. Okay, very good, guys. It was a great story. Thank you so much for your help.
Good job, Fabi. You demonstrated that very well and adapted it excellently for the online environment with
Thank
your
you.
Jamboard. Okay, so who's doing the storytelling?
The
Well, the
students.
students.
Students, yeah. Which learning styles does it suit?
I think it's multi-learning.
Multi-sensory, yeah.
Yes.
All of them, yeah. Could you adapt the activity and use a different story?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd have to use obviously vocabulary from the same field, right? Because this was all related to the genre, yeah. So you could have a horror genre, couldn't you? Yeah, like Black Dog or Witch or whatever, yeah. if your students are a bit darker, perhaps.
Mhm.
Yeah, or farmyard story, yeah, involving pigs and ducks and stuff. Which age group do you think this activity is suitable for?
I think it could be depending on the materials and the subject. Like I can think it can be adapted to adults regarding maybe something that they're happening in their companies or they're learning for business English. You can adapt it, or young kids with images, like just the flashcards on the board and they have to organize them instead of the drawing, or they can draw. Yeah, it depends.
Right. Okay, so now I owe you a story. Okay, after you've done your job. Thank you very much, everyone. That's everyone, right? Now, what does TPR stand for? Type the answer if you think you know it into the chat. What does TPR stand for? Any ideas? Must have some idea.
It's to reinforce their confidence and to.
No, but what does it? No, what do the initials TPR stand for? Las siglas en inglés, ¿qué significa? Like GDP stands for gross domestic product. What does TPR stand for?
The first one is teaching.
No.
No?
It
No.
has something physical because
It's
it's
total
Yes.
physical response.
Exactly. Total physical response. Yeah.
Ah,
Total physical response is the answer.
okay.
What learning style do you think TPR is particularly relevant to?
I think it's visual, but it's also multi-sensory, right? Because it goes with the sound, it goes with the movement, multi-sensory.
Well, I suppose it is multisensory in the sense that you listen and you react physically with TPR. So I would say auditory and kinesthetic. particularly. Yeah.
But it can
No.
go with the sound as well, right?
Well, that's why it's auditory. Yeah, because you're listening and
And
you're
it's
responding.
visual.
Yeah. Visual, not so much usually, but it depends. You could include a visual element to it.
Like Fabi did.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I'm going to give you a story, and I'd like you to do the actions. Okay, so we've got to think of an action for each of these. So woodcutter, what's the action of a woodcutter? Yeah. What is the action of a tiger? And the sage, the sabio, what does a sage do? Yes. Okay, so this is an Indian story, so this could be cross-cultural. Okay, I want you to listen and do the actions as you hear the words mentioned in the story. All right. So one day, a poor woodcutter was walking down a narrow path in a forest. Yeah. He was in search of dry wood. Suddenly, he heard a voice calling out his name. He was surprised and decided to find out who had called him. He walked to the side and saw a tiger in a cage. The tiger pleaded with him. Please, please get me out of this cage. I will do whatever you say. I will be your humble servant all my life. The kind-hearted woodcutter was moved by the tiger's request. He opened the door of the cage and freed the tiger. Once the tiger was freed, he said to the woodcutter, "I've been in this cage for over 3 days, and I'm very hungry. Now I'm going to kill and eat you." "That is not fair," said the woodcutter. "I have freed you from the cage. Is this the way you repay me for helping you?" "This is a jungle, and the laws of the jungle apply here," said the tiger. "I must kill you and eat you." "Let's go and see the sage who lives close by, and whatever he says shall be final and binding," said the woodcutter. The tiger agreed to this, and they started walking down the jungle path. They came across the sage's hut. They saw the holy man deep in meditation. They approached him with their problem. The holy man listened to them carefully and said, "It is hard for me to understand the problem until I see the real position. Let's return to the place where the cage is, and you will then explain your positions there." The three returned to the place where the empty cage lay. "No," said the wise sage, "where was the tiger and where were you? I want you to both to return to your original positions." The tiger returned to the cage. The moment he entered, the wise sage shut the door of the cage. "You are a wild animal, and you do not understand human nature. Instead of repaying the woodcutter for his kindness, you wanted to kill him. It's better that you stay in the cage and await your fate." The woodcutter thanked the sage greatly for saving his life from the evil tiger. Okay, so what do you think is the benefit and possible disadvantage of using this TPR method with the story?
I think it's good because they have to be attentive of the story because they need to act out the character. So it's a good way to keep them focused in the story.
Yeah. The possible disadvantage, though, is that they're only listening out for individual words, right? It doesn't necessarily understand that mean that they understand the whole story. They're just understanding, picking out the words. So it could be useful for a first listening of the story, right? So to check that they're following the story. Good. So that's our story. I think what we should do is take another short break of just 5 minutes. And then we're going to do pronunciation. Okay, I just need to get set up with the pron. So let's just take 5 minutes and back here at 12:47. Vale? Okay.
Thank you.